You know what it is and who it is. It is the morning run. Your man, Uncle Neely, BiggDogg, Chico, Deuce the Scoop will be joining us as well. We got NBA action. We got portal action. We got pay-for-play. 75K for a high schooler. What in the world is going on? Coming up next right now on the morning run. Bop, 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 bop.
What's that?
You don't always making noise in the background. Don't be going, blah, 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 blah. I be shooting that gun on the head.
We're not going to talk about shooting and beatboxing this show. Good morning. It's morning somewhere, 7 a.m. Hawaii time, 11 a.m. Mountain time, and 1 p.m. Central time. Big Dog Chico, Uncle Neely, and Deuce the Scoop in the building right here live and direct all across the globe. We're checking in. We appreciate you guys checking in too. Leave it in the chat. Let us know where you're checking in from so we can shout out your city, state, or country right now. The morning run. We will talk about all the topics, the latest and greatest in sports and entertainment right now. Philip Dukes,
Duke.
Uncle Neely, what's happening?
Big Dog, let me tell Duke something.
Dukes?
Yeah.
You know, there's two things gonna whoop Duke's ass now. That's that link and that mute button. They're gonna whoop his ass. Like, that. Now wait, hold on now. Duke's gonna win the fight, but the early rounds gonna go to the link and the mute button. But when he get to round 6, 7, 8, he come on back. Deuce, hey Deuce, Chico, let me bring the show in, dog.
I saw that. Look,
yeah, I couldn't believe it.
Chico got mad and then didn't want to bring me back on the show.
Yeah.
And then Chico, I want to talk about that mute button, but he be doing it.
Yeah.
That's a lie.
Yeah.
Coach Brown said that's a lie. It is a lie.
He don't never mute his damn self, though. He always mute one of us.
Oh, yeah.
When I'm not talking, I'm muting myself. Because trust me, I'm talking in my head. I got things to say, but I mute myself.
We understand you talking in your head. And answer yourself.
Portia set tripping.
Oh, now Portia set tripping and everybody else out there. Dukes was celebrating. You celebrated 420 yesterday, Dukes?
Yeah, what?
How did you celebrate? How did you celebrate exactly?
Man, turkey, ham, macaroni, collard greens, dressing, not stuffing.
That's Easter, Dukes. I'm talking about 420. How did you?
Well,
celebrate?
I know
well, maybe that was how you celebrated after you celebrated 420. That was your you ate all that food afterwards. Is what you're saying?
No, Chico.
Oh.
Yeah, crazy.
Oh, I got you. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, man, never mind, Chico.
You ate a lot then, what you were saying.
Man, you'll mess up a wet dream, boy.
I did mess that
all
one
the way up.
But
wake up, the sheets just dry.
Man, kill it.
I make wet shit.
Chico.
That's that 98% though. Hey, if you just joining in, this is the morning run. It is Monday. It is the first Monday after spring ball. It is the first Monday with the portal open. So make sure when you're in this portal, when you're on the morning run, when you check in, tap in, let us know where you're watching from. We had a classic 2-hour marathon episode of Uncle Chico last night. We're going to try not to revisit some of that, but we're going to revisit some of that. That's just a way of saying just get prepared for it. Hey, Duke's portal is open. Spring ball is done. NBA playoffs going off. Lakers took one on the chin. I'm still saying Lakers in 5. There's a lot going on, Dukes.
It's a lot going on, man. I just got a new book after that game the other day. Something that the Lakers didn't read. The book on Anthony Edwards. And man, I'm excited for. I think it's gonna be a good series, though, man. I think, like I said, we talked about Nas Reed being the X factor. Chico gave me a shout out earlier where he was saying that was a good call, and I just think it's gonna take more than you haven't seen that Anthony Edwards signature game. I think it's coming, but you also haven't had that the LeBron signature game either. By being able to withstand that flurry that Luka came out with, I think that's where you kind of like Luka came out with it at 17 in the first.
Yeah,
big first quarter. Yes, about 16, 17. Yep.
Yeah. So by being able to withstand that haymaker, that's how they stayed in the fight. And you can kind of see the Timberwolves are like, bro, we don't feel like an underdog. So it's gonna be a good series.
Man, you know, one of the things that I love about the dynamics of hoops and somebody having a big go off quarter like that, or even a big go off half, and end up losing the game. Here's where I'm going with this. When you look at like what happens with the Nuggets, a lot of times when the Joker has a big game, and thereby big games come from taking a lot of shots. Because if you're making a lot of shots, you're taking a lot of shots. The adverse effect of it is the other four people not getting involved. And then by the time that lead dog is going into his slump or getting tired, they haven't got a rhythm yet, you know, because they haven't touched the ball yet. So I always love that dynamic when I'm watching the game. Was like, what if Luka only scored 12 instead of 17 that quarter, and let somebody else get 5? And what that means, you know, rhythm wise for the team. It's gonna be an interesting series, man. It's a lot of interesting series going on, man. Like what Golden State did with Houston.
Hold up, don't go past the Lakers right quick, because I got to say something about this. What y'all saying?
Go ahead.
You ready? Well, do you think that this is going to sustain throughout the series? The Wolves making 50% of their 3-pointers, 21 to 42. If you look at their stats, for one, LeBron only had 19 points. I don't think that's going to last. Jaden McDaniels, 25 points. Nas Reed, 23 off the bench. Are we expecting that for the whole series? I don't think so. I don't think that's going to last. The series is going to be a lot closer than a lot of people think. I can say that. I think the Wolves are out there with something to try to prove. Anthony Edwards even said he's going to try to send LeBron home. I think he's coming out there with that mentality, and he's that's transferred to the rest of the team. So I think they're coming out there taking on that challenge, but the Lakers still haven't played up to par. And the Timberwolves played, I think they're what's going to be their best game, shooting game of the series. So we'll see how that plays out. Dukes did call out Nas Reed. He was on fire from 3-point land. I was looking for a tweet that I made like years ago when he first came out of LSU. I was telling the Lakers, that's somebody you need to go get. I was tweeting them. And
when you tweeted, did you tag the Lakers?
It fell on deaf ears, though. I guess they didn't see my tweet and they drafted somebody else. But now Nas Reed.
You think that they seen it, they would listen?
I know they should have. I told them to go get Bowl too. I know they should have.
Bowl.
Hell. So that's all I'm saying. It's gonna be a great series, but I think
GMBDC. I like GMBDC.
What is
General Manager BiggDogg Chico. I had to help him figure it out. He was over there.
I didn't see
three of the 5 letters, his damn name, and he couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. But you lucky I wasn't on that on the show with y'all last night, boy. Ooh, Chico.
I know, because you could have been talking about the transfer that we got from Auburn, the safety. Yeah, can you tell us about him, dude?
I'm trying to redirect that.
That was cold-blooded right there.
That was cold-blooded. No, that was cold-blooded.
Yeah. But just to reiterate about how I feel like that series is gonna go before we get to the transfer portal.
Yeah.
Like you said, to your point, LeBron only scored what, 19?
19 points.
All right, and what's he averaging for the year?
24.4.
All right, and Anthony Edwards scored what, 22?
22.
And he averaging what?
I can't say off the top of my head. He probably what, like 28?
27?
27?
Yep. So yeah, almost 28. So same thing. And I think the thing is though, when Anthony Edwards don't have to be your top scorer, and we know that LeBron James don't have to be either. But one thing about the Timberwolves, they hit on 74%, of their assist rate was 74% on passes scored. So basically on scoring after the pass. So it wasn't a lot of one-on-one ball. But the good thing about it is if you trust anybody in a one-on-one setting right now, I think that the Timberwolves have the best one-on-one player in the series. One-on-one, I'm taking Anthony Edwards over Luka right now because Anthony Edwards can pick you back up on the other side. Luka Doncic, all he gonna do is just give you a bunch of baskets. But after that, he ain't got no help for you. And the way that they masked Luka last year in the playoffs is where they had 2 7-footers who were actually pretty good defensively. He don't have that this year. You put Luka on the island. They've been doing Luka wrong on that side of the basketball. So we're gonna see what happens. But right now, I like the Wolves in 6 right now.
Great point. I think they are definitely taking advantage of Luka when they see him guarding somebody. Hey man, hey, let's go right here. Or ISO right here. Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
So I think, but the Lakers,
free lunch.
I think the Lakers can do the same thing with Rudy Gobert. If they bring that pick and roll out high above the top of the key, 3-point line, and make him guard and defend on the perimeter, they can do the same thing, I think, and take advantage of Rudy Gobert's inability to defend the perimeter shot. So
But he's
we'll
a
see.
5, Chico.
Yeah, he's a 5. So they bring
Right.
him outside and make him defend on the pick and roll, just like they did Jackson, just like Minnesota did Jackson Hayes.
But that's not the same thing because Luka's role is to guard the perimeter.
Yes, what I'm saying is
anybody it's like you got to run a play to get Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, but all you got to do is run a pick and roll to bring him out hot. Same thing the Wolves did.
You can hide Rudy because he's a center.
Okay,
you can run zone and hide him. You cannot you can't hide Luka.
There's going to be a way that JJ Redick finds out, hey man, they're taking advantage of us right here on the deep. We got to find a weak link over there. What we know is
they might, but that ain't the one.
I think that's going to be the one. I think he got exposed in series.
Because think about this.
He got exposed in series in the past.
What I'm telling you is, how many times can you continue to run pick and roll in the play? Right now, you run pick and roll so many times that you put the rest of your team at a deficiency because that's the only way that you can score. The Timberwolves can hit you. They can run a basic set, and you know you're getting a mismatch with Luka. It don't matter who's in the game. He's a mismatch in the NBA defensively.
Yes, we understand that. But there's ways they can find a way to like you said, Dallas had 2 7-footers. That means that Jackson Hayes is going to have to find a way to be key on this. He's going to have to defend.
Body Bagger said Rudy was the weakness for the Wolves. Listen, but I'm starting to think that's Chico. I think that's Chico. I think that's Chico.
No, that's just somebody seeing what I saw. If you bring him away from the basket, he's a liability.
That he was just talking about you
last year.
Now you're right.
Hey man, he ain't taking that personal. You know, that's what it is. He's going with the takes. He don't care what he said yesterday. He like this take right here.
There's no way. If you think that Luka being a deficiency defensively is the same thing as Rudy Gobert, let me ask you this: how many times has Luka won Defensive Player of the Year or been in the running?
That don't mean nothing when they can expose him in the playoffs. That he won Defensive Player of the Year 4 or 5 times, didn't he? How many times has that taken him anywhere?
That's what I'm saying.
He's gotten exposed every other series that they've played. That's how they've gotten eliminated. That's why you've seen Rudy Gobert on the bench. That's why you've seen him.
Defensively, exposed where?
Offensively. Defensively.
Like how?
And they can leave him on offense because he ain't going to make those shots away from the basket.
Defensively,
I explained to you.
No, explain to me now. You saying in the pick and roll, who did it?
I explained to you. I'm explaining to you
who
again.
did it?
The same way the Wolves
who did it
exposed Jackson Hayes, the same way the Lakers and Luka are going to expose Rudy Gobert the rest of this series. Watch what I tell you now. Okay, that's my take on this.
Okay, let me ask you this. All right, so if the Lakers were to, if the T-Wolves were to bench Rudy Gobert, right? Because he was because he's such a liability, correct?
Yeah.
All right, do you think they can still win?
Listen, of course I think they can still win. I'm telling you, this is me telling you a strategy for them to win.
But do you think the Lakers could win if they had to bench Luka because of his defensive liabilities?
Of course not. Luka is more. Of course not. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got
the camera off. Okay, of course not. Luka is more he's more of a centerpiece of the offense than Rudy Gobert is. Rudy Gobert had 2 points last game.
Man, that's what Chico, you making my point. You can't compare the defensive liabilities of a perimeter player with one of the best perimeter scoring guys in the league, right? Who can defend his same position. Luka can't. You literally have to put an offense in to try to expose him.
Okay. Well, what I'm saying is this. Once again, the Lakers going to have to find a way to expose somebody on the defensive side of the ball, the same way you're saying that they did with Luka. And I'm telling you this, based off of past playoff series where I've seen Luka Rudy get exposed, and they're talking about how is he the defensive player of the year? He's now on the bench, and this, that, and the other in these past series. That's what I'm saying. You're gonna have to find a weak link. I don't think McDaniels is going to be the weak link. Nas Reed can come off the bench. Now that's one thing you can come back and say. hey, well, we'll take Rudy out and sub him in with Nas Reed. That's a better fit for the Wolves, and he's going to give him problems because he can hit outside shots. Now, will he hit the outside shots at the same rate, at the same clip that he did the last game? Will they be shooting 50% for the whole series? I doubt that. I'll put my money on that they wouldn't, hypothetically, So that's where I'm going with it. That's all I'm saying. I'm looking at the numbers, looking at the stats, and that's what I'm saying. And I'm still going to say Nas Reed, Librarian Reed, call Coach Carl Reed. I'm still going Lakers in 5 or 6. Simple as that. We'll see after tomorrow night's game, Lakers versus Wolves. Uncle Neely, I know you over there thinking about, as the chat says, Chef Carl Solomon's lunch.
Oh, wow, Chico. Let me look. It is 12:22 p.m. Central Standard Time. Let me give you a shout out for actually acknowledging you stealing somebody's joke. Because normally what you do is you read something fun in the chat and you say it like you made it up, but you actually gave the chat credit for that. Man, way to grow and blossom, Chico. I love that for you, brother.
Got to get better every day, Unc. You got to get better every day. If you stay in the same, well, actually, you're not staying the same. You're either getting better or you're getting worse each and every day. That's all.
Well, I can appreciate that, my friend. And yeah, I just wanted to hear you and Deuce go back and forth over something that was no need to go back and forth over.
Yeah, it's just us talking, having a healthy conversation about our thoughts of.
I would make my point if you let me, but go right ahead. The floor is yours.
Chico, I'm a Laker fan.
1, 2, 3, not 1, 2, 1. But go ahead.
Stop arguing with a Hawks fan.
You're knock your ass out a little bit, do Chico.
You gonna come over here and lock me up, but you gonna limp back. You gonna limp back. Dukes, let's talk about some. You want to get into transfer portal news right now?
Oh, I don't get to chime in on Lakers.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Unc.
No, y'all got to go ahead.
My bad. I didn't mean to step over you right there. Go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
Go 1, 2, 3, not 1, 2, 1. Room. See, every time we talk about Lakers, you get so damn personal. That's why your camera messing up. You look like Red Man over there.
It's all right. Shout out to the Red Man. You know what I mean? What's that? Hilltown, New Jersey? Brick City, New Jersey?
Brick City. Let's do it.
Yeah. All right. Got to talk about some Colorado football transfer portal news. Also, what was in the news.
Chico, we got one point. Come on.
Say what?
I want to hear his point, dog.
No, my point was you was right. That's it.
All right.
No, I mean math is math. When you look at that LeBron scored under his average, and you look at the Edwards scored under his average, if they both accelerate their average, the math remains the same. The only hold up, Chico, your ass talk 20 minutes and I ain't even cough.
Let me turn my mic off.
Turn your damn camera off. Leave. Damn. Thank you. Jesus. There you go, Salty Vet. Here you go, mute Chico. Like, hey, when it comes to the Lakers, he ain't gonna let anybody say nothing. I'm finna ask him like Shaq asked Kobe, how my ass tastes. Like, damn. Now he just got on me. See how he do, Dukes? See how he do? He do. You see what we working with? This right here is what I'm saying. All I'm saying, Dukes, is where Chico got you at is they can't keep up that 3-point percentage, man. That's not sustainable for that squad.
No, I agree.
And so I think that's where the gap is gonna narrow. I think LeBron and Luka, not and or. I think LeBron and Luka both got to have big game twos, just for the confidence of that we can pull this off.
Mm-hmm.
Because the way they got beat in game 1, they walked back to that locker room like, damn. Did you see that coming? No, dog, I ain't see that coming.
Right.
Like we got whooped. And to your point about their liability defensively, them being the Timberwolves and it being Rudy, is like you're saying, you got to create something that makes him come out. He ain't just gonna go do that. He gonna stand in the paint.
Right.
And it's almost like pick your poison, because like you said, I can bench him if I'm the Timberwolves and still win. You can't bench your defensive liability and still win because he's your offensive asset.
Right.
So math is math, man. It's going to be an interesting series to see what adjustments get made. Because this is like I always say when I compare the NBA playoffs to March Madness, the beauty of March Madness, I ain't got to do it but one time. And the worst team can beat the best team one time.
Mm-hmm.
Now what happens when the NBA playoff starts? This is about coaching.
Yeah.
Who can make the adjustment? Because here's what happens in March Madness, Dukes.
Right.
At some point in the game, for 5 to 7 minutes, you got to play man to man.
Right.
Like my 5 got to have a better 5 minutes than your 5, and we got to
Mm-hmm.
get, and then we got to, strategy comes in with fouling and milking the clock, working the possession, etc. In a 4-game series, it's about adjustments. Now we're going to see what adjustments are going to be made by the Lakers and this coaching staff. I don't think you have to make an adjustment necessarily on the 3. I think that a probability take care of itself. Ain't nobody finna shoot, over 50% no damn 4 games in a row. Like that ain't finna happen.
No.
But you're going to have to do something to get your 2 main guys going on the same night, LeBron and Luka. And that's what I was saying earlier about, do you really want one guy scoring 17 to 20 in a quarter and the other people just standing around?
Mm-hmm.
Because how does that bode well over 4 quarters when I ain't in the game? I ain't in rhythm yet.
Right. Agreed.
And if you're just joining the morning run, we coming up on the 30-minute mark. We've dismissed Chico for the time being. We'll let the 98% come back when we feel like it. We know he in the back pouting. BiggDogg, whenever you come back, we're gonna talk about the portal, but we're gonna start it off without you because you just talked too damn much during the Lakers segment. BiggDogg, Dukes, the portal opened up this past Wednesday. It doesn't close to Friday. That's just the deadline to get in it. There is no deadline to get out of it. So you're going to see still some more people going in, but Colorado, since the end of the spring game, has been picking up some people out of it. What you seeing out there?
I think the most recent pickup was Terrence Love from Auburn University, big 6'2 and a half safety. Can play his weight right now. He's I think they have him listed as 215, 220. His weight is closer to 200 right now. Lost some weight so he can go play both safeties. Had a really good spring. Same thing I said about Colton Hood last year when I said that when Colton Hood came over. On any of those shows you saw me on, I was saying Colton Hood probably had the best spring in Auburn in the secondary. Terrence Love probably made the greatest strides this spring in Auburn secondary. For the first person to pick off Deuce Knight during this spring, he went 14 practices without an interception, and Terrence Love got him first. One of those things where you had some people, he was in the competition and he felt like, you know what, I stayed last year. I burned a red shirt when I probably could have red shirted. And, this time I'm going to take care of myself. Went into the portal in the situation in Colorado. He saw, some availability and he canceled and he got there. What happened was he got there. He canceled the rest of his visits. He was going to Oklahoma State, Stanford, and Arizona State. Those were 3 schools that he was scheduled to visit, and he canceled them. So I think that goes to show exactly what's going on in Colorado and the opportunity. And I think that spring game, I think what a lot of people saw was that spring game not only showed the fans what Colorado has going on right now, but it also showed some people who may be in the portal, like, you know what, I may be able to go help that team.
Yeah.
So it helped you. And then to hear Coach Prime say, I need a list of positions. Yeah. I think he named no less than 7 to 8 players at least at different positions.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and, just updated as this morning. He'll let you know defensive tackle 1 or 2, 1 defensive end, linebackers 1, would love 2, another safety, 2 cornerbacks, wide receiver, not just a wide receiver, a dog.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because let me tell you about this wide receiver room, man. You lost about 90% of the production with Travis leaving, Wester leaving, Will Shepard leaving, Jimmy Horn Jr. leaving, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The production is back in that room. Like, we have a solid wide receiver room, but what has not emerged yet, at least through spring practice and spring ball, what hasn't emerged yet is that dog, like this guy, like I'm the guy, like this is my room. And now that could happen what you got with August, because you got Sincere coming in. We'll see, because Prime will tell you, like, I want one more coming in here that's coming as that dog, that's coming as that guy. Still looking for 2 running backs, another tight end, a guard tackle, and center position as well. And one thing I know about the way Colorado works their portal, they're gonna get it. They're gonna get it. They're gonna find it now.
Yeah.
Don't find it, because people got to keep in mind, man, the deadline for the portal is Friday. That's entry. Ain't no deadline on exit.
Mm-hmm. Right. And then too, there's another part. The next part of the portal that's coming that people ain't talking about is when everybody gets their degrees and decide they want to go somewhere else. There isn't a deadline on the grad transfer. So the guys, the seniors that are graduating, or guys who graduated in 3.5 to have 2 years left to play, it's a whole nother market that I can go ahead and tell you that there are going to be some guys that probably sign with Colorado after the transfer portal who may not be in yet. It could be Monday, and you see somebody, like, you got graduations going on the 10th and the 11th and all type of days. Soon as that paper goes across, you're going to see people start to get into the transfer portal again. So I think right now Colorado is looking for the best fit. They're not just taking anybody. They're not taking bodies. They're taking people who actually fit. I've been privy to some conversations for some guys who've asked me about Colorado and said, what do you think about the place? And do you think this is a place that I can grow? And I'm like, absolutely. And this is not for me to recruit. It's for somebody to ask me a question and me to give my honest opinion about what I see going on in Colorado the same way I would somewhere else. So I think Colorado is going to fare very well in the portal, and they're going to continue to. And I think they're off to a great start. Shout out to Tion Parks, the cornerback from Illinois State, ball player, 6'1", about 190, 195 pounds, long arms, somebody who excelled in press coverage when you go look at the PFF. I mean, what they start, Xavier Hill was an all-conference performer. Somebody, when the first board for next year's draft class came out, he's on there as a mid-round pick with somebody who can raise their stock. So when you talk about a guy who's a top 150 player in the country already, going to an offensive line where he can get around more talented people and play higher and tougher competition, this is a guy who's coming hungry to raise his draft stock. So you got to love what that brings to the offensive line. And then you go look at Sincere Brown, a 6'5" wide receiver who has great speed, catch radius. He reminds me of George Pickens a little bit. Some people think AJ Green. I like the George Pickens comparison. I think he's a 4.4 guy. The more I watch him, I thought he was a 4.5. But I think the more I look at him now, he's about a 4.4 guy. And when you look where he scored on intermediate routes from that 12 to 20 range. So he's somebody who's not afraid to go over the middle, and most of those catches were over the middle. So I think he provides something else that you may not have on that roster.
Yeah, I like that assessment. And I also like how Chico is finding all the bring back Chico comments and putting them on the screen. I don't know why his ass still hiding in the back. Here's what he wants us to do. He wants us to beg him back. He wants to say, Chico, come on back on the screen, Chico. Chico, all right, Chico, you've been gone long enough. We're not gonna beat you up no more. The Chico abuse got to stop. Come on back, Chico. That's what he wants. That's what he wants.
Man. And usually, and I'll be honest, usually with Chico, I'm like, all right, man, lay off on him, Uncle. Oh man, that's a lot right there. I shake my head. I'm like, all right. Or I'll say, hey man, good job, Chico. Hey, Chico got you there. I'm fair with it. Man, look, Chico, come back on the show and stop.
While we're waiting on Chico to come back or not, and I'm hoping not, I see my main man in the chat. Actually, my blood brother, Dukes. Big Curb is in the house. Had recent surgery, had a hip surgery, man.
Okay.
He in the hospital watching the show. Y'all put new hip, NEWHIP, and a get well Kirby in there. KIRBY. My man Kirby's in the building watching the show from the hospital. New hip. That's what I'm talking about. $6 million man. Got to get that new hip. But I think you're exactly right, Dukes. When people watch that spring game and they watching around from their college dorm or their college apartment, they like, dude, I can help there. I see where I can fit in. Let me go. And what you're talking about, those grad students, I call them the grown-ass men amongst grown-ass men.
Mm-hmm.
Order rules don't apply to them.
You're all right.
Grown-ass man go to school. The NCAA can't say nothing about it. He's a grown man.
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna definitely get, you know, some what basketball calls one and doneers as far as them being freshmen out of high school. We call them one and doneers when they're in grad school and looking for that last opportunity to go to the league in the right environment. And if Colorado ain't proved nothing, we get you to the league now. You come in here and play come in here and play. You got 1 year to play. Come in here and play 1 year is what would happen.
Yeah.
Look at Black Bullet.
Wide receiver BYU too. That BYU wide receiver, Keelan Marion. You can already see Coach Steph Brown has some experience with him back in Atlanta as far as trainer wise. Terrence Love's already recruiting him. He's a guy from Grayson High School, went to UConn before he got to BYU. Took a longer route, but I would watch that situation. I can't say it's a done deal that he's gonna visit, but I would seriously watch that situation.
Yeah, love that.
Man, Chico, come on, bro. You be taking the too far.
I mean, why just deliberately be an asshole at this point?
No, man, because see, people think like y'all putting Chico up. No, Chico like the fist for sympathy. Now, Chico, I'm with you when you're right. But stop, man. Come on now. Because ain't nobody tell you to get off the show. You said, I'm going to just let y'all do it. That's what you said.
And he did it in response to him having hogged the whole Lakers segment. Like he was wrong.
You finished or you done?
Chico.
That's all he wanted right there.
Chico.
That's all he wanted.
Come on, man.
You nailed it when you said fishing for sympathy. That's all he wanted, man.
He said fishing for sympathy.
Come on, Chico.
That's cold, but what's up, man? What's up? I'm here. I've been in the listening to y'all.
Y'all remember, man, as Chico transitions back in, let's remember that while you're here, hit the thumbs up. You got to like the show. That helps the algorithm. You got to make sure you like the show. Please subscribe to all three of the channels: BiggDogg, Chico, Dukes of Scoop, and of course the Pregame Network. As we do this joint umbrella thing under the Pregame Network umbrella with the morning run on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So if you're in the chat, man, keep on letting us know where you're from. We're seeing hashtag free Chico. Portia telling me I'm a big bully. What I did? All I said was it's 1, 2, 3, not 1, 2, 1. Every time we talk Lakers, he gonna talk 5 times.
So Unc, y'all telling me Unc didn't say get off the screen? Unc said get off the screen. That's why I left. Don't try to make it seem like I left.
Okay.
Now you do whatever I say.
Unc said get off the screen, dude.
Okay. All right.
No, you're right, because you said I'm gonna see him be quiet. I said be quiet and get off the screen. Okay.
Yeah.
Chico hit him with one of them old school kids, man.
Yeah.
Man.
He wanted to take his ball too, but he realized he took his ball to kill the show.
I just sit back there and drank my tea, man. Sipped on my tea. It's early morning. I'm good.
NIL said Chico wanted to feel like David Ruffin. Come on, Chico. We want you in the group.
601. Pulled off the Texas in the building. Oh, no. Go ahead, continue y'all discussion. I'm just listening. I got something for you though, Unc.
Oh shit.
Uh-oh.
For you, I got Shasta on speed dial.
Go ahead. I got some artwork you sent too, Unc. Y'all want to go to that right quick? Speaking about
go to it.
Well, actually, that's Rookie Salaries right there.
We can do that. We can do that.
Go that route right there. NFL.
Yeah, you know, this is the draft week. First round is Thursday. And one thing about the salaries, Dukes, you know the game, is really why going into the league now you really don't have to have an agent with your first contract because you are slotted in draft order, and it's based on where you got picked at. And so you can see right there on the screen. This year for the 2025 Rookie Salaries rookie class, pick number 1 is $43 million, all the way down to pick 32, which is 13.3, and it's just a sliding scale based on where you get picked at. So you look at pick 1, $43 million, pick 10 is 23.7, it just slides on down. Now, what happens in those salaries though, in your 4 years, you get more going up. So like you might get 10 mil year 1. 11 mil year 2, 12 mil year 13, then 14. Most of these guys, in particular top 10, will be renegotiating by the end. So that's why you'll see like a Shedeur Sanders, who, if he goes, say, 9 to the Saints at 24.6, his real money is on his second deal. That's when he becomes a $250 million man or greater. But this is just a good look at when you're drafted where you're drafted, this is the money you're getting in 2025.
Absolutely. Like you said, the only things that are really going to be negotiated in these rookie deals are going to be injury guarantees, how much money you get if you get injured, and what percentage of your salary you'll get if you can no longer play for that season. And the other thing is how much guaranteed money you get and when you get it. So you got some guys that get 100% of their guaranteed money at signing, and you'll see that come out. But those are literally the only two things that you can negotiate after the salary structure with the salary cap from this point, with the rookie salaries being already slotted. I believe, was it Sam Bradford who got the last big number 1 overall pick?
Yeah,
that was the last one. That was the one right before Cam Newton went number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah. Chico?
Yeah. I would just say, hey, you know, contracts are set, the numbers are set. You know, I'll just say, man, damn, I should have been a top 10 pick. That's all. I know no other guys out there are thinking like, you know, we need to get as high as we can in the first round to be drafted. But this transitioned us, I think, right into talking about college NIL and our high school players getting paid. You know, like when I was coming out, or, you know, people in my generation, our thing was we need to get to the NFL to get some money, get some real money. Scholarship is great to go to school for free, but we're trying to get to the NFL to get that bag. Nowadays, you got high school players being offered a lot of money. You have, hell, we just lost a recruit, or not a recruit, but a player from Colorado to go to another school for what's reported to be $500,000. So you got guys getting a lot of money now from high school to college. Is it that important, or will it be that important, you know, for these guys to try to get this type of money? Like, because it's not going to be there for everybody. So you see these guys leaving college now. Are we going to see this a lot more in college, and then it may trickle down to high school now with the money coming into play? You know, just talk about that. What you guys think about that as we go to NIL and high school pay for play?
I absolutely think you're going to see more of it, but the asterisk by that is you're going to see more of it until the system implodes, because this is not a sustainable system. Like it can't carry this weight. Now, let me say this: anybody that makes money off you should get part of that money. So I don't care if you're in high school, college, or where you at. I say it again: anybody that makes money off you shouldn't be an employee. You should be a partner. Like, you should get part of that you're helping make them. You know, so whether that's commission and sales, you know, whether that is your time on task, like, how dare somebody make $20 million off you and only give you 50 cents? You know, and I think that way about any damn thing. But when you look at sports and your talents, your body, your name, your image, your likeness, you know, I don't know what the NCAA, which is collegiate, has anything to say about high school. Like, you know, it should not invalidate you. But going forward, Chico, Dukes, like right now, you just do not have a sustainable system, because the NCAA is big on saying you can't have pay for play, meaning I can't pay you based on your performance. But what we have is a system where you can be awarded in advance NIL values and get money that way. And hell, may not play a damn game or perform in the game. And I don't know of any other thing in America where you can get paid for something that you might not do or don't do and still keep the money, and then go around, shop for another deal and flip it.
Yeah, I think, Chico, are you referencing that kid in Alabama who they said was supposed to move out of state for $750,000?
Yes. This big kid right here.
Cam Pritchard. Yeah, so
Cam Pritchard.
Yeah, you know, they said one thing about it is this NIL landscape is so new to so many people that, okay, 750,000, and, you know, so I don't know if you remember years ago when people were giving out when sports agencies were giving out marketing guarantees, which they outlawed now. But a marketing guarantee was basically like, you come to my company and I'm not signing you. I'm signing you as a marketing guy, and we want to get your marketing, and we know that you're going to we know that when you get to the NFL, your marketing is going to be worth $1 million. So we're going to give you $1 million now for your marketing in the future, not your signature. And I think that's a little bit of the game that's being played now. It's like, all right, we're gonna give you $750,000 because we know that you're gonna get about $4 million when it comes time for you to go to college. So in the states that have legalized NIL, they're front loading guys' deals and saying, all right, well, this $750 that you'll pay us back at a recoup rate at about, let's say 15% on top of the $750 that we'll take out of your NIL collective deal that we negotiate for you as well. That some of those deals are structured that way. You look at Kendrick Perkins, as he was I forgot the name of the company, but I don't know if you guys remember when it came out that he was back in the company that was giving out NIL advances. A lot of people signed him in the state of Georgia, and they're saying, and some people believe them to be predatory. And I think that's what they're doing. People are taking advantage of the gap in the system right now, and NCAA is just sitting back and saying, okay, this is what you guys wanted. And it's almost like I liken it to like the Joker when he created Anarchy that made in the Batman movies. He created Anarchy to make somebody say, hey, we need somebody to police this, even if it's you. And I think this is the same thing where the NCAA is just letting stuff go crazy so they can say, all right, feds, y'all ready? Or y'all going to keep doing it? Y'all going to keep this legislation going? Or are you going to allow us to police this? And I think last thing I'll say is, I was talking to a very prominent booster one time. He told me, he said, he said, damn, we just opened up a can of worms. And I said, well, how you get the worms back in the can? He said, you can't. You ever seen worms go back in the can? You ever see spilled milk go back in the bottle? And it's the truth. Now that it's out, it's out. All we're going to have to do is find out a way to try to police it as best as possible, but I just don't see a future where NIL goes away.
Oh, no, I agree with you. It's not going away, but it's going to have to be policed or regulated. And let me look at it from just randomly from opposite ends. On the player end, you know, we just got to stop talking this. We got to stop talking this student athlete mess and talking this amateurism mess. Like, these are now professionals. When you get paid to do something, that makes you a pro at it. These are no longer amateur student athletes. These are professional athletes. And so one thing you can do to get around the pay-for-play or get to the pay-for-play is you can say, hey, here's your baseline NIL and here's your incentive NIL. You can get up to this should you do these things and put it in the form of a contract. And hell, even let the players unionize if that needs to be the case. On the other end of the scale, from an NCAA or congressional standpoint, based on the size of the school and the conference and the money that you have raised or the money you can raise, I mean, you might have to have NIL caps. Because if you're going to get to just an open-ended market that whoever raises the most or has the most can pay the most, and thereby going to always have the best players, what does that do, you know, to the smaller, bigger schools or the mid-majors or the HBCUs? They're going to die on the vine. Like, you're going to have Jackson State out there fielding the bad news Bears because everybody else they could play don't went somewhere they got money. And so you have to stop that erosion before it happens. But I'm with you, Dukes. I think this implosion is being allowed so I can show you why I need to exist and why this needs to be regulated. We gave you what you asked for. You saw what it led to. Now let Big Brother come in and fix it. And the way Big Brother gonna fix it is like, okay, like we finna get a cut of this. We finna cap it. We're gonna eliminate, you know, scholarships, because why do you need all these scholarships when you got people making all this money they can thereby pay for school? There's so many other ways that you can go this route and get around it. Ken just said about full scholarships. Like the next, I think the next 4 to 6 years, no more than 8 years, you're not gonna see a total now management structure for NIL and collective stuff. I think you're gonna see some more even conference realignments, because if you don't fix it where there's some parity amongst the haves and the have-nots, you got to just have it where only the haves can play each other. Because you sit here and say that somebody with $250 million in their NIL budget playing somebody with $10 million in their NIL budget is a fair game. That's not fair.
It's gonna be like budget leagues, budget conferences.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody got 20 million over here. Everybody got 10 million less over here. Y'all play each other. Y'all play each other. Damn, that's crazy.
I mean, but look at it this way, Dukes. My final point on it, Dukes and Chico, forgive me, Dukes. Look at it this way. What makes the professional leagues fair is they have to work within the same amount of money. And they pick from the same talent pool of people. If you just gave the New York Yankees, okay, Yankees, y'all can spend $1 billion, nobody else can spend more than $100 million. The Yankees are going to win the World Series every year because they're going to have a damn all-star team because they can afford it. What makes it competitive is everybody has this amount to work within in the NFL. If you go above it, you get punished. and you got to work within it. You got free agency. You got rookie minimums and maximums and guarantees. Everybody's working from the same sheet of paper. What you have right now in college is not the case. You literally have people got $250 million to spend, and they're playing somebody that only got $10 million to spend. But then you want to tell Coach Prime and Syracuse that you can't play a spring game together because it's a competitive advantage. The competitive advantage in college football is money, not practicing against each other.
Right.
You ain't lying. For real. And for everybody that don't know, real quick, Dukes, you can keep on going on that, is Cam Pritchett is a 2027 recruit and the #1 player in the state of Alabama. And Alabama doesn't allow players to benefit from NIL deals, but he got offered from a collective from another state that's able to offer them. So he would have had to leave his high school and go maybe out of state and, you know, transfer to another high school to get that money. So he effectively turned down $750,000 plus other deals to transfer and to stay there at Thompson.
Yeah,
I'm trying to say Dukes. So I mean, this guy here, Dukes. I was going to ask this from an agent point of view or from a collective point of view. What if the kid doesn't pan out?
Your loss.
That's the risk you take.
Yeah, like
so
I see,
they don't have anything.
No, and that, but see, like Regina Kennedy is asking, are there provisions in NIL deals that schools can recoup money? For example, you have unexcused practices off the field as you such. Here's the thing: you're getting paid for your name, image, and likeness, right? The assumed value of it to make appearances, thereby blah 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 blah. That has nothing to do with class, touchdown scores, yardage gain, whatever. So we're assuming you're going to do those things and assuming that your name, image, and likeness is going to maintain, have this value or greater, and we're basing it on that. If those things don't pan out, it just didn't pan out.
Yeah, it's a gamble. It's a bet.
That's what's going to implode the system.
So on that one, you do have, so they got what they call clawbacks and holdbacks. A holdback in the NIL deal from a collective is when they take a portion of your money and then they backload and they say, okay, well, we're going to hold a certain percentage of your money that we owe you every month. And if you complete the season or when you complete the season, we're going to give it to you at the end. A clawback is money they take back because you didn't hit one of the provisions in the contract, not based on performance. So under the guise of moral turpitude, to her point, which is if you get arrested, automatic. If you get arrested, if you miss a certain percentage of classes, if you fail in your classes and you're not eligible, that's what they call a clawback. So they can effectively claw that money back and say you didn't win this or you didn't earn this money. But they can't say, hey, if you rush for 1,000 yards, if you do this. Now, with the new with revenue sharing, they're putting in caveats as if you play 75% of the snaps, if you are all conference, if you're second team all conference, you get incentivized bonuses. So it's a lot that the revenue share is changing about the game. Perfect example, Oregon. So NIL collective should be going away, and you should be getting paid through your university with the cap number, which is about $21 million for this year. If your university can generate that type of bread, okay, cool. Where places like Oregon or Texas Tech or even Auburn or whoever, when they have marketing people, or let's say Nike at Oregon, I'm just using them as an example. When Phil Knight is a staunch Oregon supporter and he has Nike, there is nothing that says that he can, if you come to my school, I can't pick you to be the guy that I'm going to give a $2 million deal for a new t-shirt line. Mm-hmm. And that's where the disparity comes in. Now they're trying to say, hey, you only can use this money and there's a cap on it. And they're trying to put a loose salary cap. As you see, now you look at Jim Nagy from the Senior Bowl. You look at Arkansas's new GM. They're bringing guys from the professional level because they're trying to work it as if it's a salary cap. The way that people are going to circumvent it and the early word on how the NCAA is going to get this under control is that if you're caught giving out an unlawful NIL deal where it's basically pay for play outside of the outside of revenue share, you're gonna be penalized with a felony. That's what they're saying. Now that's the early buzz. You're gonna get an F, quote unquote, on your report card, as they say in the hood. You'll catch an F if they catch you trying to pay for play, unless you have a structure. And all that means is that people are going to get smart about it in their network and say, hey, you come to this school, we got the guy who makes windows in the community. Well, come work for the window company, and that's how you'll get your next $600,000. So every time, it's almost like y'all remember how every time they put something out to keep people from stealing cars, they came out of their way to break it. Absolutely. It was like, okay, kill switch. Then they figured out how to make the kills. Then they figured out how to beat the kill switch. The club. Then they figured out how to beat the club. Like there's so many things that every time that they try to put something in place, there's a workaround for it. I'm just interested to see how it pans out.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, a lot there to digest. I hope you guys got it all. And if you haven't, go back and rewind that, because that was a great take right there by Dukes. A whole different landscape in college football now. I think, like you said, you're going to see a lot more general managers come in to college football, and you may see them come in from the professional ranks because they've done it before, and they can show maybe some college guys how to do it or what they're working with this budget and how to stay within it. I think it opens up, like you said, for college football to go a whole different direction, and like power conferences and, the have and the have nots. I don't want to say it like that, but
no, but that's what it is.
Yeah,
that's literally what it is. Like again, when Coach Prime asked to play Syracuse for a joint practice, one of the reasons that they turned it down was competitive advantage. That it would place Colorado and Syracuse in an unfair position because they got to do something that nobody else did. When the real unfair competitive advantage is in budgeting and fundraising. When you look at these schools that, again, they have 250 million set aside for NIL deals, and they're playing somebody that only has 10 million, who do you think has the better players on the team?
it's simple.
You remember the Florida Marlins when Wayne Huizenga got them and they had that no cap year. What did they do? They won the World Series because he went out and bought it.
Right.
And without course correction, that's what you're going to have in college football. You're going to literally have, the Ohio States and the Penns and the Texases, and that's just going to be it. Because whoever can pay is going to get the most.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the state of college football. Y'all stay tuned for more, man, because it's forever changing right now. It's forever changing. These guys are about to get paid.
Absolutely.
Right
Look,
on time,
let
too.
me say this. Not to beat a dead horse, but something Dukes touched on at the end of his statement there. When you talk about the revenue sharing, like that's the part I absolutely love the most. Because what did I start off at? Anybody making money off you need to pay you. And so bust open the books. And I don't care if you're a damn JUCO all the way up to the biggest in Power 5. Bust open the books, show us what the athletic department is making off these kids from this team, and share that profit with them. I love that part. And that don't have anything to do with NIL. NIL is you. That's your name, image, and likeness. You go out and get those deals. But when revenue share really comes and schools have to bust open the books and show what they've been making off these players and then share that profit with those players, I don't care if you're the starting point guard all the way down to the end of the bench, you're going to get something just because you're here because we're making money off you.
How far should they go back in paying players? Because I know they're going to be paying some players from the past. I think it's down to 2016, all the way back to 2016. Some players to get a share. How far do you think they need to go back?
Oh man, I don't know.
Say that again, Dukes. But seriously, how far do y'all think?
I'll be your agent, man, and we'll just bust it down. Like we'll bust the money down. Let me get my look. I'll tell you what.
Look.
Dukes, let me look. One thing I try to do. I try to keep somebody from going unknowingly, unwittingly down the dead end street. Like you might not see the sign, you might not be from this part of town, you might not know ain't no turnaround down there. So hey, Dukes, ain't no exit down there. Okay. Dukes, if this man ain't paid you from that bet, he ain't gonna share from that deal with you.
You're right.
I ain't gonna say that, man. If I generate, anyways, how far do y'all think it should go back?
It's hard. I don't know.
At least back to my Reggie Bush days.
They've been making literally billions off people for decades, for generations.
Right. So why do y'all think they're putting like a a limit on it. We're gonna stop right here at 2016.
Because they know we next. Reparations.
Yeah,
they know we next.
Is.
Yeah, they know we
next. The NCAA can do it, then the federal government should be able to do it. Like you if you can calculate a value all the way back to day one, like the only way they're gonna truly survive is they got to put a stopgap in and say, okay, nobody before this date. I will tell you this: if I just had to pick an artificial date, you should at least go back to when the O'Bannon boys at UCLA filed their lawsuit.
Yeah.
Because that's like what officially kicked all this off. So I would be down for that date.
I like what Mia said. Go back to the Fab Five because we know. Hell, if you go back to the Fab Five, see that's why you probably gonna open up Pandora's box on this one right here. Because if you go back to the Fab Five and what they generated, then you might can say, man, you can go back to Phi Slamma Jamma when what they created.
Yeah,
you can go all the way back. So I think they're trying to put a cap on it because they know that if we go back here, we got to keep going back.
Let me say this,
we
Chico.
need somebody to.
For the most part, we're dealing with state institutions. Some are private as well. But where I'm going with this is there ain't a time in history that they didn't do their books. And so if they did their books and they got audited, which they all do, they know how much they made that year. And if you know how much you made that year, you know what you owe somebody.
And you can break everything down from there.
So from a technical standpoint, I'm no CPA, you should be able to go all the way back. Because again, UCLA basketball know what they made the year the O'Bannon brothers were playing there. They know what they made that year. It's on paper somewhere. So back out your expenses and break bread with what's left, like any profit sharing mechanism does.
I like that. And break bread with everybody. What? Oh, okay, I'm just clicking on something, so don't take it. Oh, you only click on the one.
I agree with that, man. Taylor made exactly right.
No, we have to discuss it. Don't even discuss it. Nope, we're not discussing it. Go to something else.
We're not discussing. I'm giving you your flowers, brother.
I don't want no flowers right now. Let's go to something else.
Okay, we'll put the 98% on your ass and get off the screen again. Try to help you.
Hey, dudes. Before we go to the 98%, you know what? Let me go to this one because see if I can find it right here. Because I'm searching on the internet last night or the night before. I said,
I know you've been searching on the internet lately.
Shit. Like, what is this? It's gonna be some shit.
Well, I got some shit.
Because it's you. Look, you can't even stop smiling.
Yeah. Chico been in there. Yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to say shout out to Coach Prime and his camps, man. What you talking about, Got the camps coming up. You want to talk about the camp?
You just redirected. That ain't what you about to do. Yeah, you see it, man. It's gonna be a nice and healthy camp schedule. Kind of coincides with the players being back. Players, as of right now, had to be back on campus Monday, June 2nd. That's mandatory report because you go into phase 1, strength and conditioning 1, starting in June. But it's also when Coach Prime rolls out his camps. You see them there post grad camp, then the elite camp, then the youth football camp with the women's clinic on the 12th. Then you go into the next week with the 707 and the lineman and the specialist camp. So about those first 2 weeks of June, I'll be back in Colorado and covering these camps and also covering the strength and conditioning under Swayze with summer school going in. So pretty much everybody's going to be away in May, except for some recruiting that's taking place as that continues. But it's football time in America once June comes.
Football time in America. I used to like when that used to come on. What was the ABC Sunday night?
I think it's NBC.
NBC Sunday night. Been waiting all day for Sunday night. That right there.
Yeah, it's football time in America, Chico.
Football time in America, as Uncle Neely says.
I've said it before, I'm gonna say it again, Chico. College football, another reason why we talk about the payment. College football is truly a year-round sport now. I mean, if you're winning, if you're like going all the way to the national championship, you play in February. Most teams, the only 2 months that you really have off are January and May.
Yeah,
because you're gonna be doing strength and conditioning spring ball February through April. You're gonna come back June and July for summer 1 and summer 2. Then fall camp starts that last week of July, and you're there all the way through the bowl games. Like there's really no off season in college football anymore.
I remember those times and those days, but as the chat say. We don't want to hear about your college days no more, Chico. So we'll go on to the other one. Shout out to Miss Aretha Burton. He took a break from baking those biscuits and said, by the way, fellas, I seen that Meg Thee Stallion pick y'all was talking about last night.
Y'all saw my man?
Now we didn't get to see it. We didn't have a good producer last night. King
Yeah.
on the phone says Ole Miss is the best team in the country. Howdy tidy. I'd like to hear more on that, King of
They
Drums.
spending some money. Right, Deuce? They're spending some money over there to get some guys.
Hey, Chico.
Everybody spending money. They spent money last year.
For sure. You know, they really. You heard what Lane Kiffin said about
Carson Beck.
Carson Beck.
Yeah.
That Miami gave him $4 million.
He the best tweeter in the country.
Kiffin. What's your overall thoughts about him? Because he's been to every damn school.
I mean, he really just I don't know. He like a college football troll, but he and the offensive genius in the same breath. It's like cool guys. Like he's like he trolls, and of course, you know, he trolls Auburn often. So, but I tell you what, everybody at Auburn wanted him to be the coach. So when they be like they hate Lane Kiffin, I'm like, hey, this is what y'all wanted instead of somebody else I know. So yeah. I don't got no sympathy for it.
Hugh Freeze. Hugh Freeze got some guys down there at Auburn.
And that ain't no shot at Coach Freeze, man. Coach Freeze, my partner, man. He all right. Like, I ain't saying that, but I know somebody else who would have turned it up for sure.
I think Coach, I wasn't a huge fan of him coming in Auburn at first, but I think with the recruits he got down there recently, I know he lost a couple guys, but he got some guys coming in there.
I tell you what, it ain't a bet like as far as 1 through 4. It's gonna be hard to find a better top 4 receivers in the country than they got. Just 1 through 4.
Is that even including freshmen that came in?
Oh yeah, it depends. They got a freshman out of Atlanta named Sam Turner from Southwestern Cab, and I think he beat out right now. He would be the 4th receiver, but they got a guy from Wake Forest that was pretty good, and they still got Perry Thompson. You remember Perry Thompson? So, but 1 through 3, Malcolm Simmons, Cam Coleman, and Eric Singleton. Pretty tough. We gonna see, man. Like you gotta put. But this is one thing about the NIL era. I don't care how much money you spend. It's almost like the Yankees when Steinbrenner, like at the turn of the 2000s, when they couldn't win it, when they were spending all the money.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta line it up and play. And you know, when you look at certain things, it's like I don't care how much money you spend. Sometimes you're just not gonna be able to, that's how the Boise States of the world give certain teams more than they afforded. Like there's no way they really should have beat Oregon if you go back and look at that game. So there's going to be times where you have those upsets where they don't have the resources, they don't have the facilities, but once you say line it up, Denard Robinson at Michigan when he lost to App State, not him, that team. My bad, D-Rob. But you know, sometimes it just goes like that. So you got to line it up, man.
Find the players.
I'll tell you who the best team.
Find the players.
I'll tell you who the best team in the country.
Who that?
The one who win the championship.
Man. Not the one who spend the most, but the one who wins.
No, absolutely. Because you look at like even politics, about 95% of elections are won by who spends the most money because contact matters. How do you get around that contact with somebody spending money on mail and postcards and in TV commercials and radio ads? You get around it by walking the streets and knocking on doors. So you can outwork money when money don't want to work. But money in America is damn sure upper hand. You rather have it than not have it. I don't know about Bangladesh or Zimbabwe or New Zealand, but I know here in the good old USA, you want that bread.
I just thought about this because of what Unc said, right? You can walk the streets, right? And beat and knock on doors, right? But if you had a little money, you can get in a golf cart. And you go knock on doors, and you can reach many more houses and doors by doing that. So, hey.
And you got a little more money than that, you can get on TV, and you can knock on doors from the TV screen 24/7 from a commercial.
See what I'm saying? Hey, let me ask you this. Let me ask y'all a question. This happened where I'm from. I ain't going to say the name of the nonprofit. But look, it was a guy who had a nonprofit from our area, and the Republican Party in 2020 gave him $1 million for his nonprofit. And it was somebody who was a staunch Republican. I mean, you know, straight MAGA. They gave him $1 million to a nonprofit in a blue neighborhood, not just politically, gang ties too, like in the middle of the hood. if you're that guy, and this is 2020 when relations like those type of relations are at its highest peak. I'm trying to use code words so we don't get flagged. But if it's you, would you take the $1 million to support a nonprofit from that side?
And they didn't put any stipulations on the gift? No,
they just said, hey, we just like what you're doing. Here go $1 million.
Yeah, I'm taking it.
But we got to use you. But you got to shoot a commercial for us. Lending your report, lend it. I'm not saying you got to choose whether it's blue or red, but this is what I am gonna say. Would you take $1 million to be in a commercial?
Yes, 5 times already, but you can go ahead.
I'm talking to Chico now. I'm talking. we got on. Would you take the $1 million from a political to switch your political party for the sake of a commercial?
You changed the question here. Now hold on.
I said I was gonna change
it. You changed the question here. Now.
Yeah, would you be in a commercial?
What am I doing first? It sounded like he was already advocating for it.
All right, boom. Just like, okay, you helping kids in the community, right? That's what you're doing. Feeding the homeless. Okay, cool. But we want to show that your support for my political party, even though I know that's not your party. We're gonna get $1 million for you to be in this commercial. Do you take the $1 million? Or do you say, nah, I don't believe in what y'all got going on?
Nah, it's that's kind of loaded right there because
that was real loaded.
Yeah,
that's
like Chico. Have you stopped beating your wife?
What? Don't say that on camera, dog. Like it's real.
No, I'm just giving an example of there's no right answer to it.
Hold up.
If you say no, that means you beat him. If you say yes, that means you used to beat him.
Yeah, don't put that on me.
See, when you asked me the question, he ain't put the stipulations on there.
Yeah, he put that on there.
Like Mike F said, sell my what? Sell my car. Sell your own car. Don't do me like that.
Chico, that's the widest I've never seen your eyes open.
Hell no.
Hey, Chico said, don't put that on. Chico, you right though. Don't put that on. He say, find a better example.
Yeah, find something else.
Chico, let me see you bug your eyes.
Go back to 98% or something. Go back to that.
Chico eyes got big. I ain't never seen Chico eyes big. His eyes always look 420.
But you know what? On those type of subjects, that's when your eyes supposed to get big, Chico. Salute, bro.
Yeah.
But I ain't crying.
I'm gonna change the subject. Go to something else. Hell, maybe put that jacket on me.
Woo.
Damn.
It's two you don't want. You don't want that one. And you don't want that PDF file.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know, so hell no. Let's go to something. How can we go to something else? I'm good at transitioning, but damn, you got me stuck.
Hey man, it's an hour and 7 minutes, man. You can transition up out of here.
Okay, let's transition up out of this thing.
Transition before Deuce did that. That was an hour mark.
Damn. All right.
After the meet, you came over and took the ball, but your boy Deuce, you don't say look. Y'all playing buddy ball over here.
Hey man, Chico had to pay me back, man, because I usually come over there like. I wish they could have been on that group chat that day when I was in Colorado. But when I was in Colorado and Chico was trying to advocate for somebody, and tricked me into thinking that he was really trying to be in the right. But we ain't gonna talk about that though.
Dukes.
I'm always trying to be in the right, man. Y'all trying to make it something else, dog.
Dukes, wait till I give you the update from this past weekend.
Chico, okay. Hey, Chico, tell that.
Wait till I give you the update from what I found.
Hold on, Chico. Have you ever seen somebody jump in there and try to defend your honor like I did that day? I was like, no, man. Man. Don't do that, man. No, man. Did I not, Chico?
I do like that right there. That's what you do right there. You got love for your brother. You know
man. And then look, had me looking damn stupid when I found out what your real intentions was.
See, you were not that hard for him, dude. Dude, you were not that hard for him. Dude, you almost made me change my mind. I was like, damn, maybe I'm wrong.
Man, y'all know what it is, man. Y'all know how I'm coming. Y'all know how I'm rocking.
We know what it is, how you coming, not 8%.
Man,
exactly.
Thank y'all for coming out. This has been another amazing episode of The Morning Run. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And join us at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Mountain Time, and 7 a.m. if you're out in the middle of the ocean, Pacific, that is, like Birdman said.
Hey, if you're still in the chat, which we see you still in the chat, let's do it again for my man Kirby with the hip surgery. Put new hip Kirby in the chat. New hip Kirby in the chat. Get well soon, Kirby. Appreciate you tuning in. You laid up on the side over there. I know they had to shave your booty where they put your hip at.
See, you always got to go there. NHK in the chat. New hip Kirby. Yeah. You tell me coming up tomorrow.
Yep.
This has been another one.
Hey, Chico.
Yes, sir.
Hey, bro. So I'm looking at your background. I see Chico and put yourself up on the screen by yourself. I just want to see something
again.
I
never said you on the. No, he ain't got you on the Dukes.
Here we go again. Chico did something wrong.
Did I ever ask you about this, Chico?
Did something wrong. Here we go again. I'll make sure I add that Duke to scoop up there. I didn't finish it, Dukes. It was just what I could put together right now.
Chico, why you didn't let me talk?
Because y'all already getting on your boy, dog. What's next?
I didn't say nothing. I'm just saying, okay, Big Dog Chico, the pregame network, Uncle Chico, the morning run. I seen one with Coach Prime on there. The Prime logo on there. And there ain't not even one Duke to scoop, nothing.
Not one. And you be defending him.
Look at this guy.
You
right
be
here,
defending
not
him.
one. It's coming, dog. God.
Real Coach Prime up there in the top right.
Yeah, them logos I had on hand, Dukes. Goodness gracious. I'll add yours, buddy. I'll add yours.
Do me any kind of way, Chico. Pause.
Any kind of damn way.
Pause. Yeah, pause that one for real. Do me any kind of way.
Yeah, what are you doing to you? Any kind of damn way.
Do me
a
favor.
That's your boy.
That's my partner. I be trying for him too, man. It's all good.
Baby.
See, you take it to
It's all love, man. Y'all know it's love.
Yeah. Pause.
All right.
I pause.
It took Dukes to point it out. That's me.
I mean, if I owe Dukes $1,000, I have his name up big behind me.
Yeah, man, it's all good.
The chat said we didn't shake on it, Dukes. You know that when you're 12 years old, they said you got to shake on it. I got some love for the ATL shouted, man. I got some for him, man. You know what? I ain't gonna say. I'm just gonna do it. How about that? I'm just gonna do it.
L3 Moon. L3 Moon.
We're gonna end the show on that note. As usual, they got to end the show coming at BiggDogg. I don't know what I did. I can't even make a background to do it right. I can't make a background to do it right.
Except for the main person that be trying to defend you, and literally went out on a limb to defend you. So fervently, that even Unc thought he was wrong that day.
It sounds like I know what that means, or I think I could put it together and know what that means, but I will.
I know you're playing dumb now, Chico, because you know what that means. Yeah. Because first,
tell everybody, Dukes, man, you got to let everybody think that, you know.
Yeah, Chico
ain't got no sense.
Yeah, right. Chico scored about 1,500 on the SAT. I remember.
Can't tell nobody that.
Yeah.
I know Chico, a one-man employment agency.
Right.
What that mean?
Captain Save him.
Man.
All right. We appreciate y'all coming out. Speaking of that 1,500 on the SAT, thanks to the Asian girl that sat next to me. I appreciate you. We're going to end it on that once again, and we'll get up out of here. Unc, you want to shout out that hat you got on? They talk about that in the chat.
No,
they're not paying us, so they don't get no shout out.
I know Salty Vet said 30-minute Laker discussion without letting anyone else talk is what Chico did.
How when me and Dukes was going back and forth? Come on, man. Y'all got to be. Yep. Laniki, I appreciate you. All right.
Oh, man, this hat just reminds me that just like Parliament Funkadelic, I got jam in my legs and I'm ready to spread.
Whoa.
What?
All around the world for the funk.
The funk?
Hey, y'all don't know about Parliament Funkadelic, man.
I gotta hear that song.
We don't cut in. We just butt in. All around the world for the funk.
He going in. Now he on one. Keep going.
And when I find a vacant booty, I move right in on the hump.
Okay, then.
98% Chico on the booty. 98% Chico.
This man said when he finds a vacant booty.
Yeah. I move right in on the hump.
All right, guys. Thank y'all for coming out once again. From the East Coast to the West Coast, wherever you checked in from.
L3 Moon for me. L3 Moon. That's all I need. L3 Moon feel, but she know about the funk. Make my funk the P-funk. I wants to get funked up.
Yeah, I want the bomb. I want the chronic. Shout out to you guys said this last thing I'll say. Y'all said something about reparations. I was watching Mike Epps last night, and Mike Epps said, I want my damn reparations. I want my 40 ounces in the pit bull. 40 ounces in the mule. That's what he said. Shout out to Mike Epps.
It was funny when he said it wasn't.
Well, hell, it's funny to me now because I'm laughing. And who cares if you laughing or not? Because your sense of humor is here
you look
and
at
mine
the
is there.
and laugh. Like you look at a white wall and laugh. Like you
I could watch grass grow.
and laugh. You break a church window and laugh.
I could
Hey, super chat before we leave.
Right.
Robo Ramos, $4.99 super chat. Y'all see what Chico's long lost cousin Ye recently said. Oh, we ain't got time for that. We got time.
Shout my cousin Ye. All right.
Chico, go see what he said though. We ain't got time for that today. We put a low little shot.
Well, at the end of the day, if you guys would like to sponsor, y'all know somebody would like to sponsor, y'all make sure y'all hit us up and go follow and like, subscribe to Philip Dukes, Uncle Neely, Big Dog, Chico, Cleasy. Y'all share this thing right now on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all social media. Tag us in that so we'll see you and we can follow you back and we can share you and all this other stuff. What'd you say, Unc?
I was giving Donnie C a shout out, doing it in your ear hole in 3D, man. See, there's some Funkadelics in here, man. Y'all just look, man. Y'all was just born 10 years too late, man. If you over 50, you know about P-Funk.
Okay, yes. Please share it on social media. We appreciate that, man. This is a live stream. I will be breaking it down and sharing this thing. Until next time, Dukes in Atlanta, Uncle Neely in Mississippi, and I'm out here in the middle of the ocean. We're going to sign off. Thank y'all for coming out. God bless you.
Big Dog Chico busting out church windows with man Duke Scoop and Uncle Neely. We out.
Have a great day. Peace in the Middle East.
I'm going nowhere, Dukes, with this.